What's up everyone, Steven here from Leadjetty.com. In this video I want to talk about split testing. So in the past couple of videos that we made, we looked at how to create high converting lead magnet flows, and we also looked at how you can set up different colors and layouts just a little bit and that sort of thing. So in this video I want to show you how you can put all of that together in different variants that you're going to use to figure out what's converting the best. And this kind of brings us into a little bit of Leadjetty architecture that if you're kind of new, you may have not really explored much. So before I go anywhere, let me just go up to the dashboard. So we have on the left, we have some navigation icons, and you've also got a few of your flows here. I think we take the most recent 5 and show them or something like that. So if we click over here on flows, you'll see the full list. And I was working on this lead magnet demo. So if I click here, I will see what we have called variants. So Leadjetty was built from the ground up with split testing in mind. So every single flow has to have at least one variant. And when you create a flow, we go ahead and create one variant for you by default. So you always have at least one. And so basically the way that you can think about a variant is it's a variation, it's a version, and you can have as many versions as you want, and whichever versions are on, we will randomly pick one to show your website visitors. And so let's say you have 5 and somebody lands on your page, it's going to randomly choose from the 5 if they're all turned on, and then they will see one of those. The benefit of this is that you can look at the different variants and see what are the conversion rates, and you can come in and quickly just turn off the ones that aren't converting. So how do you create a new variant? Well, first of all, let's just remind ourselves what is in version A. So if we click View Steps, this is our lead magnet download that we've been working with. Super simple, just 2 steps. So let's think about things we might want to test. So yesterday we were talking about how these bullets make the form area quite large. So maybe you want to try one without bullets. We've also got the headline. We might want to change up the copy there. We've got the button text, which we might want to test. We've got the colors, which we might also want to test. Maybe you think that orange is going to convert better than blue or teal or whatever color you want to call that. So let's go back up to the top and let's set up, let's say we're going to create 4 variations. So you could go ahead and create new variant up here by clicking this button, but it's going to be a little bit tedious to recreate all of that, so we made this copy feature. So if you just hover over this duplicate thing and click that, you'll quickly get a version called copy of version A. So when you're split testing, naming becomes very important so that you don't have to constantly click and try to figure out exactly what's different about each one. And you also sort of want to plan things out a bit in advance and not just randomly try stuff. Because randomly trying stuff will just kind of confuse you. So what you want to do is be pretty careful about how you do what we're about to do. So first thing, we talked about changing the color, we talked about changing the headline, and we talked about changing whether or not there are bullets. So those are 3 different variables, and the first 2 of those variables have infinite possibilities. You could test any headline, you could test any color, and then you have just a sort of yes or no on the bullets. So you really have infinite possibilities, and you don't want to set up infinite. So you want to kind of keep it careful and kind of, there's not a perfect approach to this, but it depends on how much traffic you're getting to, how many versions you want to create. So like I said, we're going to do 4, maybe 5, and then you'll kind of be able to take it from there. And then we'll do some more strategic content later. But let's go ahead and just talk about how to name this. So I'm going to basically list at the top level all 3 of my variables. So I'm going to say headline 1, and then as you can see, I've already tried this out. I'm going to call this teal with bullets. Okay. So that's going to be my first one. It's headline 1, teal with bullets. And now I'm going to rename this one to be headline 2, teal with bullets. So if I were to go in here, what I can do is say, okay, let me change this one. And instead of, are you struggling to escape the trap of credit card debt, you could put a totally different headline if you wanted. Are you struggling to get out of, let's say we wanted to just kind of see if the basic headline works better instead of the escape wording. Are you struggling to get out of credit card debt? So we'll save that one, and then we'll just turn that on, and so now we have two variants. So that's pretty quick. So let's say that we think, technically if we wanted to try a different background color, for us to be thorough, we would need to create two more, right? Because we would say like headline 1 orange with bullets, headline 2 orange with bullets, and that would be interesting. So let's just do one though. So we'll create a duplicate of this, and then we'll edit it here, and so we'll say headline 2 orange, and then let's bring this over and kind of in the same vicinity. Oh no, that's brown. Let's come up here maybe, and then just kind of pull it up like that. We might need to bring down the intensity a bit. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, all the way down. Maybe like that's good. Doesn't matter. This is just for an example. So headline 2, orange with bullets. So we could easily copy version 1 and change the color. Headline 1. And let's do that actually since it's so easy. Headline 1. Where are we? Up at the top. View steps. That's not what I wanted to do. Edit name and colors. So we'll say headline 1. And now you see why naming is so important. Orange with bullets. And I should have copied that hex code. You would in fact want to do that normally so that it is exactly the same orange. Because that's not the same orange. Let me make that right somehow. Maybe it needs to go up higher. Okay, in any case, you would normally copy the hex code and make that exactly the same orange. So now we've got headline 1 orange with bullets, headline 2 orange with bullets. We can turn all these on. And I won't bore you and do a whole nother set, but you could easily just copy this and do without bullets, right? So headline 1 without bullets, headline 2 without bullets. You can see how you would end up, I think you would end up with what, 8? So you would need to copy all of these again, and you would have 8 options now, which does make sense. I think that's 2 to the 3rd power is how you would calculate that. So that would be 8 variations to test 3 variables at once, which isn't crazy if you have a lot of traffic flowing through. But yeah, you would just duplicate every single one of these and do a without bullets option. And then what you could do is watch the traffic flow through and see which ones are converting, and then turn things on and off. And then you can basically call that an experiment. And then once you kind of get done with one, let's say one's not performing, you just come over here and archive it. And so that's how you can kind of clean this up a little bit. But let's see what this looks like in action. So I think, so you see in the very bottom corner of the screen, if I go ahead and click this, it's going to stick a variant ID up here. So you have variant ID equals 32. And so you can see that's the orange with the headline 1, I believe is what we just clicked on. Headline 1 orange with bullets. So if we want, we can actually take away that variant ID here. And so now I've got headline 2 orange. If I just refresh, I've got headline 2 blue. And so you can just keep refreshing without that variant ID in the URL bar, and you'll end up getting a random one. And if we were to go turn one off, we would not see that one. So if I turn off like headline 2 orange, let's turn all of them off except one just to make the point. So we're going to have headline 2 teal basically. So are you struggling? So that's headline 2 and we have teal. So that's basically how that works. So what you would do, you would basically have one embed code. Your embed code is always the same for any variant. And just to show you what I mean, if we click embed code here, you can see in this URL we have this ID right here. This is our flow token, and that's the same for every single one of your variants. So it's 03E862. So let's go down to like a different one and look at the embed code 03E862. So basically what this means is you put this one embed code in your site, and we will figure it out on our side and randomly show people stuff. And then you can come in and check the conversion rates and toggle things on and off. And that's basically how split testing works. So I hope this was really helpful. I think this is a super cool feature that can really add a lot of value to what you're doing and capturing more emails and help you really improve your conversion rate and performance on your site. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and I will talk to you in the next video.